You're listening to the Full Court Press podcast, hosted by Drew Duncan. Don't you dare touch that dial. Anybody stay up late last night? I did. I stayed up last night because I haven't had an opportunity to watch an interview of Lonzo and Lavar Ball. I've only seen snippets of things on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and whatnot. So I never really feel like they tell the whole story. Because a lot of times, obviously, as you know, a snippet can be, you can take it any way you want to. So I decided to stay up, despite how tired I was, because I conceded to the fact that I'm going to see this guy live, no matter what it takes. The $495 pair of shoes that they'll be selling was revealed on there. I will say the shoe, I think slightly more impressive than what people say that it is. I don't think that it's anything that is jaw dropping. I don't know what they did to decide that it is a $495 shoe. I wanted to do research on it and be like, hey, I'm the broadcaster and I know, but let's be honest. When you look at a shoe, 9 times out of 10, comfort isn't the thing. Let's keep it real. Now, I will say this, as a guy with a wide foot, it's hard to find shoes that have wide feet. And from what I could tell by looking at them bad boys on television, they are in a wide, which does me great. Really suits me great. So I can say I appreciate that because, look, I'm only 5'8", but I'm a size 13 wide. Now, do you have any idea how hard it is to find a shoe that's a 13 wide? By the way, I also look like a penguin when I walk, which is why I choose to wear a lot of bootcut jeans because they do cover up a good portion of the shoe, make my feet look like a normal size. All right. So now that you know a little bit more about me, first of all, I want to say that I did notice that Lonzo actually walked onto the stage first. His dad was clearly very cool and making sure that his son was the focus and that he is the star. And I just didn't feel like Lavar Ball is everything that people make him out to be. I think coming from a guy who grew up hanging around the guys a lot, Lavar just kind of seems to me like a guy who just is kind of palling around. And, there's always that one dude in the circle, right, that just kind of talks a lot. And you can't ever tell if he's clowning or if he's being serious. I just think that that's Lavar Ball. I think a lot of what he says is just clowning. And people take it to the next level. Have I seen him get fired up a couple of times on some snippets with Stephen A. Smith? Yeah, but come on, how many of us would get fired up when you've got a guy shouting in your face? So, of course, you're going to shout a little bit back. The majority of what Lavar Ball said, he's got a smile on his face. And I felt like Jimmy Kimmel was really kind of embracing him more than anything. It was like, a lot of people are talking bad about you, but basically was looking at him saying, you're all right to me. Like, I don't see what the deal is. By the way, the shoes come in this seriously cool glass case. It's all lit up, man. And I mean, it's a display case. It's really what it is. You know what it reminded me of was back in the day. when like having a system in your trunk was a big deal. I don't know if it is now or not. I mean, I've still had some 12s, but back in the day, we had these little cool glass cases that we used to display our speakers in. And if the trunk was all lit up, man, I mean, that was a thing. And so he's kind of brought that aspect to the shoes, that the shoes are lit up in the same glass case as well. I personally think that's a cool little effect, because I think to me, it shows that he understands, look, man, if you're going to pay $500 essentially for these shoes, I want you to feel special about them, and I want you to be able to put them where people can see them, and I want you to be proud of your purchase. I understand you just made an investment in my son. To me is what I see when I look at that. And one of the things that Lonzo said was, because Jimmy Kimmel basically had asked him, he said, man, your dad is right here with you. Like, what's it like having him around all the time? Like, I don't get it. I couldn't imagine my dad being with me everywhere I go. And he said, well, he just wants what's best for his kids. How many of us parents are the perfect parent? As parents, sometimes we have a tendency to either push too hard or not enough. A lot of times it's really hard to find that balance. And Lavar Ball is clearly a guy who just pushes his kids hard. Tiger Woods pushed his son hard. What are the results? They're winners. They're winners. When did pushing your child become a bad thing? I don't agree with everything Lavar Ball does or says. Some of it gets taken out of context, but either way, I still don't agree with it all. And you have to give the man credit. He's found a way to market himself and his kids. And as a result, they're in the front runner. They're in front of everybody right now. There are a lot of kids coming out this year of college basketball that played on better teams, that had better seasons. But the word is that Lonzo Ball is a top 5 pick. He wants to go to UCLA. What's wrong with living your dream? He's from LA. He played at UCLA. He wants to be a Laker. The funny part was, though, is when he said, well, what about the Clippers? He said, no, because they don't have a chance. Oh, man. You want to talk about direct and honest? No, because they don't have a chance. Man, I'm telling you what, it doesn't get any more direct and honest than that. And think about it. How many people, how many kids in that moment would have been like, well, the thing is I like the Clippers as an organization, and, I don't have anything against them, but I don't feel like they're the right fit for me. How many people would have just fed you full of lies and nonsense? At least he's honest about what he feels. I don't think the Clippers have a shot, so I don't want to go there. Now, I don't know why he thinks the Lakers have more of a shot. The last couple of seasons have been, but, come on. I think overall it was kind of fun to watch. And I think LeVar took a lot of things in stride because, Jimmy Kimmel warned him because LeVar Ball said it's going to be unbelievable. And he was like, no, don't do that. And then Jimmy Kimmel threw out the idea of what are we going to have next? Ball juice? And LeVar just started laughing. He said, we might. So overall, I thought it was a good little interview. LeVar, I do think could tone it down a little bit. I don't think he needs to be there everywhere that his son goes, but I think he's there because he probably is at the end of the day trying to take as much heat off of his kid as he possibly can. He's willing to accept the criticism until his kid is probably a little bit older. And I think he's showing him how to deal with these things. And at the end of the day, I don't think that's wrong because, being a sports analyst guy for a long time now, I am telling you one of the things that you and I, whether you're an analyst or not, we know this is that people can be very critical of an 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old kid. And, we can put them under some undue pressure. And I think LeVar, is doing his best to take a lot of that pressure and heat off of his son and placing it onto him. And at the end of the day, while his son needs to learn to cope with that, maybe by being the direct brunt of it, I can also understand why he is doing what he's doing, having a son and a daughter myself. You've been listening to the official Full Court Press podcast, hosted by myself, Drew Duncan. Don't forget, you can always find me on Twitter. That's at DrewDuncan83. Of course, the official Full Court Press podcast is on Facebook. You can also reach me there at DrewDuncan83 as well. For all you Instagrammers, I am on there at DrewDuncan83. Thank you so much for tuning in.